taking it back to the old school with a traditional working light. So contrary to popular belief, I've not actually died, but lighting in here would be pretty poor if it was just the bulb up there. So as you can probably see, not that much has changed over the last few years. There has been the inclusion of a wonderful AT-AT, akin to the one that I gave away to the kids down the street back in the late 80s. I actually paid £10 for that on Facebook, so very pleased. Comes complete. The only thing missing is the undercarriage guns, but I'm not going to cry about it. This is a new edition, but it's in January, I believe it was this year. The Nintendo Entertainment System. Decided to get back into my Nintendo systems, and it's the action set. It's pretty minty inside. It came with 13 games. I believe I paid £150. The 13 games are boxed, so I shall show you those shortly. Onto the consoles. Usual suspects, as well as an NES. As previously mentioned, not a lot happening in there at the moment because it's not actually plugged in. Sega Mega Drive, of course, Neo Geo, Dreamcast, American version, and Nintendo Super Famicom. I actually picked that up pretty cheap on eBay, really good seller. He had quite a few. I said I want a real clean example, and he delivered absolutely perfectly. I think it was about £25, so still an acquisition really. I still had a couple of pads lying around from the old PAL systems, works perfectly. Got the old Tate set up here, bit of Gunbird on the Saturn. Opted for the mobile version because there has been an upgrade on the audio side. Basically because my friend had picked up an Arkham Alpha 5 amplifier, mainly based upon the recommendation because I had an Alpha 10, so I decided to get the same, and it's pretty fantastic. I've also upgraded to all of the Pack-a-Punch cables from retrogamingcables.co.uk for the Mega Drive and Neo Geo and the SNES, mainly because I was getting some audio buzz, and obviously with the inclusion of a decent amp, I wanted to eliminate that completely. So it's pretty awesome sounding in here. Bit of a Super Castlevania 4. You'll have to excuse the glare from the working light. A little bit of Gunbird as well. Just got the old S-Video on this, but it looks really crisp in person. So onto the NES games, or rather the Nintendo collection. I think I've got a few Game Boy games since I last made a video. I think I may well have not shown these Kirby games. The original Kirby, which I always wanted back in the day, and Kirby 2, which is one of those Super Game Boy games. I also picked up a Super Game Boy. And here's the NES games. Pretty decent condition, some nice titles. Not going to say I've played them all to completion, but there are some inclusions outside the ones that came with the bundle, mainly this Rescue, which I believe I paid £8 for, and it's one of my favourite games actually on the NES. Really cool espionage action, and a whole lot of fun. Something very different, very well recommended by me. And an old school classic that I used to have back in the day, back in the early days, Captain Skyhawk. Really like this game for, you know, all of its sins. It's still a really cool shooter on the NES, and I think it's really breaking boundaries. Not very expensive. I think I paid £13 for this one delivered. So that's basically it for NES. Got a bit of Super Famicom action, Super Mario World. I believe I picked that up recently. I think it was £4.50. Not that we're going to get any focus. Oh, there we go, £4.50. Cart only. Slight bit of discoloration, but you know, I'm not going to cry about it. So on to the Super Famicom games. Actually done pretty well on all of these. Managed to pick up Super Castlevania 4 on an auction, and I think I paid £28 for this delivered. Cart's in spanking condition, and the box isn't too bad. There is a minor tear, but you know, again, nothing to write home about. This is the latest Super Famicom game I picked up. I really love this. Final Fight 2, finally 2-player. The box is a little bit battered, but the price was very agreeable. I believe, including postage, it was under £12, so cannot complain whatsoever. And a big fan of this. I think it's a fantastic game. So great to be able to play Final Fight at home, and this is a worthy sequel in my opinion. These two characters playing very similar to the equivalent in the original game. So a little bit more Super Famicom action. Got Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. Not really played it very much. It seems to be quite difficult, but probably a bit of prolonged play would make that better. This was another bargain. Now this is actually Tetris Attack, or was converted to Tetris Attack for Europe and America. I believe it's called Puzzle Depon. I could be incorrect there, but it's a pretty fun puzzle game. And I think I won the auction at something like £6.40, and the postage was something like £3. So, as you can see, it is close to mint condition. And Super Donkey Kong, recently picked this up, £11.99. I find it very frustrating. I can see why it was such a revolutionary game, really, at the time when 32-bit platforms were so prominent. But to me, it's good, but it's the kind of game you need a girlfriend with to sort of get you through those levels, which you find infuriating. Now, another classic here, one of the release games, F-Zero. I actually ended up paying £17 for this. I remember a time it was pretty much dirt cheap, but I was desperate to get my hands on it, and that's exactly what I did. And last but not least, pretty beat up copy of probably the standout game on the Super Nintendo, Super Mario Kart. The cartridge and the manual and everything's in fine shape. It's just the box itself, but what can you do? Late to the party, you can't expect to be getting the premium quality boxes without paying those high prices in this current climate. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I suppose it's not that much in terms of pickups, but certainly been quite a bit of Nintendo added to the collection. I did go pretty crazy on Nintendo stuff for a while, as you can probably make out. There's not been much change in anything else. I've actually sold the odd few game here and there. I've mainly been doing anything but playing video games, but now it's getting a bit colder, I've sort of come back to it. Also, yes, my Lucy's. Got a bit of a Lucy NES collection going on here. This all stemmed from getting a bundle on Facebook. It was 12 games for 30 quid. And I sort of chopped and changed along the way, and upgraded to some better titles. But, some nice games here. Certainly nice to be able to you know, play some NES games and some Super Famicom games, just for a bit of variety, a bit of Nintendo action. I'm certainly not going for a complete collection of any of these kind of things. I'd like to think I'm sort of backing off buying games, because once again, it's sort of getting to the full stage. I mean, even the Mega Drive titles are too deep at this point, so definitely something to consider. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just thought, after watching Stuart's video, make a little bit of an update. Don't know if I'm ever going to go public with this, because at the end of the day, without upsetting loads of people, I'm just not really into the whole video game community anymore. It's just not my kind of thing. As much as I love gaming, just decided to focus on other things in life. So that's it for now. Also, this beanbag chair. This must be about, in the 13 years I lived at this house, this must be about the 8th different type of seating device I've tried in this room. And I have to say, it's immensely satisfying to sit in. So that's it. I'll bid you farewell. And well, who knows? Maybe I'll upload another video at some point soon. Goodbye for now.